Of Saturday, October 25th, 2014. Chelsea, Becky, and Penny all attended Big Mike's annual Halloween bash in Newport, Michigan. They had all attended Big Mike's parties in the past and felt like they knew almost everybody in Monroe County. So, this was a place that they were very comfortable if they separated and socialized individually. Chelsea had given her phone to Becky because she was wearing a costume with no pockets. And when the end of the night came around, Becky and Penny lost track of Chelsea and decided to head home. The next day, there was still no sign of 21-year-old Chelsea Bruck, and family and friends grew increasingly concerned. And by Monday, October 27th, Chelsea was reported.
I've seen this. I've seen almost every one of these guys.
We can't look at you and believe a word that's come out of your mouth. You have lied and lied and lied.
My family's being affected. My mom's got heart problems. She's over my house right now cleaning for Thanksgiving. My own parents were scared to come to my house for Thanksgiving.
It's the bottom of the ninth, and you've got 2 strikes, Dee. Okay?
I want the truth from you for the first time since November 29th.
I told you the truth. I don't
No, you
know
haven't.
the guy. He
No,
came
you-
in and he...
No, you haven't.
In the city of Tampa, Florida, in the year 2006, a 39-year-old man by the name of Abraham Shakespeare stops at a gas station with his friend Michael Ford. He insists Michael purchase a lottery ticket for each of them for the Florida Lottery. Just like anybody, Abraham puts his ticket inside his wallet and carries on with his week. Until one day, unlike any other, Abraham strikes gold. In November of 2006, Abraham checks the numbers on his lottery ticket, only to find that he had just won $30 million.
Chat, what would you do if you won 30 mil? What would you do if you won 30 mil right now? You just wake up and there's 30 mil in your account. I'm giving my parents fucking 10. I buy the Mike and Eggs company? Yeah, now we're talking. Have your own Mike and Eggs flavor? Hi. Did you get all your treats downstairs?
Was born on April 24th, 1966, in Lakeland, Florida. Growing up, his family was not very fortunate financially, and Abraham would also find himself going through troubles during his years in school. This eventually caused Abraham to drop out of school when he was only 12 years old, halfway through the 7th grade. Abraham suffered academically and hadn't fully developed his reading or writing comprehension skills. This is known as being illiterate. This continued to affect Abraham into his adult years. Due to this, Abraham constantly found himself relying on the assistance of others to fully understand specific issues.
I literally wouldn't even do anything different from my day-to-day already, Alex.
These individuals had his best
wouldn't even be able to
interest
tell
in
I had 30 mil.
Abraham had also gotten into a bit of trouble throughout his juvenile and early adult years, committing crimes such as burglary and armed robbery. This resulted in several arrests and
straight up wouldn't even be able to know
with the U.S. prison system. He cleaned
I
up
think you
his
can just
act
start up
well
another
behind
heist. I don't really know if
bars
there's a
and came
cooldown
out
on
a
it.
better man, working multiple jobs and officially turning his life around. He found love in the year 1999 and had his first child in the year 2000. When Abraham won $30 million via the Florida Lotto, he opted for a bulk payout, turning his take-home into around $17 million, which then turned into about $12 million after being taxed. Abraham quickly went on a spending spree. He purchased some expensive jewelry and watches, several boats, some new cars, and a home valued about
Literally every single asset that would depreciate, he bought, except for a house.
$3 million. He would help any of his friends who needed some financial assistance, and even take groups of friends on vacation after vacation. Michael Ford, the man who actually purchased the tickets for each of them, decided to challenge Abraham in court, stating that he purchased the ticket so the winnings were rightfully his. He also stated that Abraham actually stole said ticket from Michael's vehicle. Abraham ended up winning this case, and the court deemed the winnings were rightfully Abraham's. Despite an influx of old and new friends contacting Abraham on a regular basis, Abraham quickly learned that these people were using him for his money. Nobody was there for him when he needed them. They were only around when they needed something from him. Abraham noticed his spending habits were not sustainable, and that he was burning through his money at a rate that could end in disaster, as it does for many that choose to spend their earnings.
You want to target on your back? Yeah, except he won 30 mil, not 30
had spent 11 of the $12 million, leaving him with slightly over $1 million. Abraham went on to participate in a TV news interview, opening up about his situation.
I really would like my old life back where I could walk the streets like a normal person, but got people coming up asking for money.
It was shortly after this interview that a woman by the name of Doris Donegan Moore, a friend of the real estate agent that sold Abraham his new home, would contact Abraham with the proposition of helping him stretch his remaining $1 million for as long as needed, and possibly even turning it into more money. Her strategy was simple. While she assisted with his budgeting,
she looks like the type of chick that would bite your dick off and spit it back at you. Look at those eyes. Jesus Christ.
is going to simultaneously write a novel surrounding Abraham's life and story as a lottery winner who believed he had it all, only to learn that money does not buy happiness. Within weeks, Abraham was on board, and Doris was now his full-time writer and financial advisor. Doris would work aggressively during the first few months, investing his money wisely, and even chasing down debts that were owed to Abraham. It appeared as though the decision to hire her was actually paying off. Until November 9th, 2009. Abraham's cousin had not spoken with him for months, so he decided to call the police. He told the police that he hadn't heard from Abraham since April 7th, 7 months earlier. However, he did notice that Doris had continued managing Abraham's finances and accessing his accounts during that time. Abraham was then formally reported as a missing person.
Have you seen this millionaire? His name is Abraham Shakespeare. This is him being interviewed after he won a $30 million Florida jackpot. He opted for the lump sum payment after taxes worth about $12 million. That was back in November 2006. In the tiny town of Frostproof, Florida, it was at this convenience store
that if you ever win the lottery, always take the lump sum, because money today is more valuable than money tomorrow. Just saying.
May have ended in foul play. Shakespeare did spend some of the cash. This $1 million luxury home in a gated community, and he gave money, lots of it apparently, to friends.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Doris Donegan, aka Dee Dee Moore. Throughout Doris's life, she struggled maintaining her finances. She would throw herself in and out of business.
That says it all right there. She struggled paying her finances, so she went and manipulated a millionaire in pain.
That would all eventually crash and burn. She once worked for a cellular phone company and later attempted to run her own company in the same industry. During this time, she purchased a vehicle, and when her company collapsed, she stopped making her payments. Instead of allowing the vehicle to get repossessed, or even just simply avoiding repossession, she decided to tie herself up and lay on the ground off the side of the highway. When somebody spotted her, she went on to claim that 3 Hispanic men assaulted her and stole her vehicle. She followed all of the required steps to try to add credibility to the robbery, including being medically evaluated at the hospital and partaking in several police interviews. The police took her word for it and opened an investigation. Less than 3 days later, a man contacted the police and told them that Doris had actually paid him $500 to hide the vehicle and that the vehicle was currently parked on his property. Doris seemed to believe that if the car was reported stolen, she would no longer be responsible for the remaining amount owed, and that she eventually would be able to continue driving this vehicle without having it repossessed. She then faced charges.
Yo, Zeno, what's up? Is this chick fucking retarded? She she thought she could get away from fucking. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's actually crazy as shit.
For insurance fraud and for making a false police report. In 2001, Doris also decided to stop paying her rent. When she was confronted regarding this issue, she claimed that there were people out to harm her, and she was currently unable to make her rent payments, as she was trying to protect herself from these people. She later stated it was a nameless ex-co-worker who was stalking her and threatening her life. Doris was beginning to show signs of being a pathological liar, also known as mythomania and pseudologia fantastica. Being a pathological liar is not in itself a mental health diagnosis. However, it is a well-established concept in psychology. Pathological lying is generally more related to frequently disordered thinking patterns and beliefs. The word pathological actually indicates that there's an underlying pathology or illness. Hence, the signs of being a pathological liar are associated with various underlying mental health conditions. Pathological liars may lie for a specific reason, or their lying may be more random. This means that pathological lying is not defined by the frequency of the lies, more so at the significant distress and danger that this lying causes. For example, a pathological liar may lie about their homicidal tendencies in a therapy session, putting themselves or others in imminent danger. A pathological liar not only lies frequently, but may feel a compulsion to do so. This type of liar cannot stop lying even when it causes psychological distress or puts themselves or others in danger, creates problems with their work, relationships, or other aspects of their daily life. All of these traits seemed to embody Doris Donegan. However, Doris somehow turned her life around and started a fairly successful company in 2004, earning...
My cousin's a pathological liar. She said someone broke into her... This is just one of the many things she said. A few years back, she said someone broke into her apartment, grabbed a knife, and stabbed her in the foot. All because she got caught cheating. She was in bed, and she's fucking, like, in her bed at her, like, place with her, where her and her husband stay or whatever in their apartment. And her husband came home early one day from work and found her fucking some dude. So, like, a week or two later, instead of getting kicked out of her house by her husband, she pretended that someone broke in and stabbed her in the fucking foot. Like, what?
Close to $200,000 a year. Things began to appear like Doris was on the right track, until her previous tendencies started to catch up to her. In 2006, Doris was introduced to a younger couple who was looking for assistance, establishing a new company. They gave Doris $60,000 to be used for any expenses along the way. Doris then kept the $60,000 and refused to help this couple any further, citing that the money she was provided was for her time, and that she was unable to gain any traction setting up their business. Doris continued to run this type of scam on several other people as it appeared they somehow had no grounds to pursue her in court. This continued until 2008. When Doris connected with Abraham, and quickly after the business deal between the two began, a recently divorced Doris moved in to Abraham's mansion. The police decided to check Abraham's home following the missing persons report. When they knocked on the door, Doris answered. They asked her some questions regarding Abraham's whereabouts, and she replied quickly and confidently. And then she grabbed a briefcase full of documents. She stated that Abraham had decided to go into hiding, liquidate all of his belongings, including his home, to Doris, and basically just disappear for a little while. She showed the officers the corresponding documents signed by Abraham as she spoke. She also stated that he did this because he was exhausted of the publicity that he gained from the winnings. and to escape the needy people he had gotten entangled with. She even went as far as showing the officers multiple videos of Abraham that she recorded on April 9th, where she eerily questioned Abraham about what he wants to do with his life.
Do you get tired of people asking you for money all the time, Abe?
Anytime. A year ago. They don't take no for an ounce or so. And just let them keep on asking.
So where do you want to go to?
It don't matter to me. I'm not a picky person.
California? Cozumel? You want a foreign country?
Baby.
Are you going to miss your home?
Yep, I miss it, but life goes on.
Well, they asked me why I'd want to buy your bad debts, and I told them I bought them from him because he can't collect anyways, and every time you try to collect, they threaten to kill you. So you're not ever going to get anything. Are you sure this is what you want to do about leaving this house? You're not going to miss it. You're not going to miss it when you leave. This is what you want to do.
Yes.
Despite having video and audio recordings discussing his leaving, when the officers asked exactly where he went, she said, "How the hell would I know?" This drastically increased police suspicion, and the investigation ramped up. Officers now obtained a warrant to search through both Abraham's and
Bro, that's
Doris's
crazy. She could have said anything.
phone records and
She-
belongings. During
How
this
the fuck am I
process,
supposed to
they
know?
had noticed that Abraham was sending and receiving nearly hundreds of text messages every day up until April 9th, 2009. On that day, everything completely stopped. Everything except his conversations with Doris. Police found that after April 9th, Abraham and Doris continued texting each other for the following 3 months. Strangely, during each conversation, it appeared as though both of their phones were seemingly in the exact same location. When Doris was confronted with this information, she said, "You got me. I've been helping Abraham hide away by texting myself from his phone." The
What?
officers then asked her to get in touch with Abraham for them. She replied, "I can't. I have no idea where he is."
Now, she says she too cannot find him. Sheriff Judd isn't buying it.
She was texting from Abraham's cell phone to her
Dude, that's
cell
the
phone
Florida cop.
and to other people.
Bro, that's the Florida cop. Yo, he is legit, bro.
Cell phone,
This guy is
giving the
fucking
illusion
legit.
That it was Abraham.
How do you know she has his cell phone?
She told us.
And she told you she did the texting?
Yes.
This cop here is legit as a motherfucker, man. I remember there
Well, she was creating
I remember there was
the
this
illusion
like
for him to
threat
stay
about like
Only
someone
interview
wanting
she-
to like saying they were gonna shoot up some street in Florida. And he's just like, "Don't worry, our citizens are allowed to bear arms." And he's just holding a fucking M16 and he's just tapping it.
Has given D.D. Moore told
Or
the local
AR-15,
Ledger
I
she
guess.
believes Abraham Shakespeare is still
Don't
alive.
worry, our citizens
I
are
think
allowed to
Pop,
bear
I think
arms.
he
He's
realizes
fucking tapping it.
how the extent of what level this investigation
But
went to.
then she began to cry as she complained about the police search of her home and car.
You gotta go outside, little man. Alright, let's go. Let's go. I got you. Get going. Get going. Well, I have shaken so fucking all the streets already? Wow. If only Florida wasn't a shithole. What makes you think? What makes you think Florida's a shithole? Florida's beautiful.
I'm done. What else can they do to me? They've turned my life inside out.
When officers asked her for the phone, she said she threw it out her window while she was driving down the highway. Despite this information being quite damning, Doris was not yet arrested. In December of 2009, Abraham's mother gets a call from a strange man. This strange man says something along the lines of, "Hey mom, it's me, Abraham. Everything is all right. I just needed a break from everything for a little while. We will talk soon." Of course, Abraham's mother was well aware that this voice did not belong to her son. When police traced this call, they discovered a man named Greg Smith. Officers were able to obtain a warrant to triangulate Greg's location based on his most recent calls. They then decided to wait for a new call to appear before heading to the location that call appeared to be placed from. This led them to a shopping center parking lot. They parked their undercover police vehicle and watched as Greg pulled up. As they monitored Greg, they noticed a very familiar car pull up as well. This vehicle then parked directly in front of Greg's truck. Doris Donegan then exited her car and walked up to Greg's window. She handed him an envelope. Greg can then be seen pulling cash out of this envelope and counting it. Doris then got back into her car and drove off. Officers then followed Greg out of the parking lot for a few blocks, until making a quick decision to cut him off and confront him about the transaction with Doris. Greg then quickly admitted to the investigators that Doris had paid him $5,000 to make the call to Abraham's mother. Doris Donegan, aka Dee Dee Moore, was promptly named.
Is that illegal to do for him? I wonder if it's illegal for him to make the call. Like, he doesn't know the guy is dead. You know what I mean? It's not like he knows the guy is dead or anything. Well, maybe he does, but not like he knows the guy is dead, let's say. I wonder if that's illegal.
Of Abraham Shakespeare.
Authorities say a business associate, Dee Dee Moore, took great pains to make it appear as if the missing millionaire was alive after he was last seen last April, but she says she doesn't know where he is.
Frankly, she's a con artist. And if she were trying to sell me something, I wouldn't buy it today.
Moore told detectives she befriended Shakespeare, giving him financial advice after he won the $31 million in 2007, but police aren't buying that either. She transferred more than $1 million from Shakespeare's bank account into one of her own, telling detectives later the money was a gift.
We can see where the money went to American Medical Professionals, which is in her name, and the president is listed as her friend's Shar Korinsky.
Now, Moore is considered a person of interest in the disappearance of Abraham Shakespeare, but she's yet to be charged with anything.
Around this time frame, Doris took part in an interview.
She had to have just shot him. There's no way this chick's overpowering that man.
So before you even met him, he'd already burned through $11 million. A lot of that was in loans to family and friends.
Everybody and their brother was coming to him. He got so bad that when he first won, his mom will tell you, and even his neighbors will tell you, they had cars lined up, and they would stay there, lined up outside, till he woke up, no matter what time of day. So if it was 10 or 11, they would stay outside until he got up. He liked the attention that it gave him, but he didn't like the fact that people would call him and ask for it all the time. He would get frustrated because he would tell them no, and they wouldn't take no for him. So I came in, and he wanted to go ahead and start over. He wanted a new life. He was tired of people calling him, harassing him for money. I understand what he's going through, and I know he's okay in my heart, but I hope that, you know, he can come back around.
When's the last time you actually saw him?
I think it was April.
Okay, so it's been a good while.
Yeah.
Doris now believed that Abraham's cousin might be involved.
Cedric lived in a house that I own. Abraham bought that because Cedric kept asking him to buy a house, you know, for him, but it's supposed to be making payments. Well, they don't make their payments back. Well, he got tired of that and said, you know, they're never going to pay me. That's when he had wanted to leave and said, hey, I'll sell you the house. So he told Cedric, I sold you to the house, I'm leaving. You owe her the payments every month. And they hadn't paid me. Well, I had threatened him with eviction.
So you think he filed in retaliation against you?
Yeah, absolutely. There, he tied me up under investigation. Then I would be under investigation. And guess what would happen when we leave? You know, then everybody's little things would go away. They wouldn't have to worry about paying anybody.
Although this sounded like a reasonably possible accusation, Doris just could not keep herself out of trouble. Doris's use for Greg didn't end after he outed her to the police. Instead, Doris contacted him again and asked if he knew anybody who she could use as a fall guy, somebody to say that they had murdered Abraham. Greg said sure, as long as you tell me exactly what you did. Greg then immediately called the police and reported this conversation. Investigators told Greg to set up another meeting so he and Doris can discuss a price. During this meeting, they planted a wire inside a Red Bull can that Greg was actively pretending to drink out of.
Then what do you want?
50 grand.
Can I do it in payments? Because I don't have that kind of cash. I'm going to have to sell something.
I'm gonna need 10 up front. Once I do this, make sure my boy get the money.
Following this meeting, they planned another fake meeting. This time, there was a third party present. This third party was an undercover police officer.
Yeah.
Doris believed that this undercover officer was going to act as a fall guy for her. As she arrived to this meeting, she handed Greg a towel. Inside the towel was a gun that she claimed murdered Abraham. She also brought a hand-drawn map that she claimed was a map to the location of Abraham's remains. Doris still denied any involvement in his murder.
These cops are trying to frame me for killing Abraham. I really didn't kill the man.
Of course she shot him. That's what I'm saying, Chad. There's only one murder that we've watched where the chick has actually stabbed the guy to death, and it was when she had him incapacitated by having him sit down naked in a shower. Like, that's wild.
You're gonna be a legend, and you're gonna be in a book, and probably on the Oprah show.
After following the map that Doris provided, which took them to the backyard of a house that she owned, investigators found a large concrete surface recently installed in this location, so they began tearing this concrete up. As they started their dig, Doris was finally arrested and questioned by investigators regarding Abraham's disappearance. During her first interview, she stuck to her story that Abraham ran away, but now she had a plethora of different reasons why.
Because he wanted to pretend he was dying of AIDS so that he doesn't have to pay child support and people won't look for him if he's dying of AIDS. It was a videotape of him having sex with a girl.
She was then confronted about the gun and the map. And
Swear, my boy.
She then stated that some man named Ronald murdered Abraham right in front of her. She was then being used as a pawn to help Ronald communicate with Greg. She stated that she did this because she was worried about herself and her son's safety.
No, I'm not the one that shot him. I wouldn't hurt him.
Then who did, Dee Dee? Tell us. You were able to contact Ronald, and Ronald told you right where that body was at. Really? But you can't get a hold of Ronald, but you got a hold of Ronald then. Come on. It's over.
I told him I had to meet him back later to make sure.
Dee Dee. There's no Ronald.
The man threatened to kill my son. I don't even know Ronald's last name.
Doris's story changed several times. Her traits as a pathological liar started to leak through her facade like never before. As the officers felt more confident with the evidence against her, her web of lies only became more tangled. Her third story was that the murder was actually a drug deal gone wrong.
It was a drug deal that went back, and the guy's name is something. I just found it out.
But with her inability to fill in the blanks,
the
the
puzzle is
officers
right.
quickly called BS on that tale.
Going crazy on it.
You did it on this case.
I had to.
Her fourth story was that Abraham's cousin Cedric, the man who reported Abraham missing, had actually pulled the trigger and shot Abraham twice, both times in the chest. This happened very quickly, after visiting a safe that was supposed to contain money for Abraham. When the safe was opened, there was no money and only a gun. Cedric then grabbed this gun and fired. Doris stated that this was because Abraham purchased a house for Cedric and was trying to collect a series of past due mortgage payments from him.
It's the bottom of the ninth, and you've got 2 strikes, Dee. Okay?
I watched Cedric shoot him. I was in the room. But I'm telling you, Cedric took the gun and in cold blood did not even hesitate to shoot the man, and I seen it happen.
As mentioned earlier, most pathological liars will present lies that not only put themselves in imminent danger, but may also put others in danger as well. This is usually due to a compulsion caused by the desire to remain in control. Doris takes her lies to another extreme, her fifth story possibly being the lowest one yet.
That same cousin I was talking about, she said that someone broke into her house and stabbed her in the foot because she got cheating. That same cousin said that one Christmas I walked into the bathroom and seen 2 of my uncles molesting her. You know what I'm saying?
Her 13
These pathological liars are fucking crazy,
she
bro.
States that
Careful
Abraham
out
was
there,
going
gentlemen.
to hurt her, so her son used deadly force to protect his mother.
She said, my son RJ shot Abraham twice. Abraham was trying to choke me. RJ walked in the room, grabbed my gun, and shot him. He was only protecting me like any son would do.
After 3 days of digging, the body of Abraham Shakespeare was uncovered, buried below the concrete surface in Doris's backyard. He was found with 2 gunshot wounds to the chest. One of the investigators on the scene made a disturbing realization that the outfit that Abraham was wearing was the exact same outfit from the video that Doris had provided them from April 9th. The same video referenced earlier, where Abraham stated he needed to get away. The interviewing officers then upped their intensity another notch.
All right, Dee Dee.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you everything from the start.
We'll sit here and listen to what you got to say. All right? But don't waste our time anymore.
I have no motive. I have no reason. I cared about that man.
It's very hard, not only for us, it'd be very hard for anybody to sit here and look at the things and go, okay, here's this lady who got the Corvettes, got the houses in her
That's sick,
name,
man.
got the this, and then you're going,
Good for him.
but Abraham knew about that, and Abraham wanted that was the business we were going to invest in, and blah, 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 you know, and what makes it really hard to believe is the lengths and the things that you did to cover up that he was, or to make it still look like he was alive, and then once it was looking like he wasn't alive,
Well, I'm
to
gonna
start
explain
putting
that.
it
I'm
on
gonna
him.
explain that part.
That guy's
A lot
name
of
is
our
BHO.
questions have been answered
Butane
now,
hash oil.
and
That's
now
sick.
it's time to lay everything out on the table and get to the bottom of it. I can tell you right now, look at my eyes. Look down. You may not have shot him, okay? But I'm telling you right now, you were involved. You are the one who did what happened. Look. Well, you asked James, your ex-husband, to dig a frickin' hole. James Moore did dig that thing, okay? I know he did, all right? James Moore knows he did. We know what happened.
You want me to tell you a lie. He is innocent in all of this, and so you're going to put an innocent man in jail.
But you are not. You are not.
You want me to admit that I
are not.
forcefully, I paid some crazy man to kill Abraham, and that is not true. I wouldn't pay for a man to get killed over money.
What is the truth? So you killed him yourself. You've got probably the top 2 sheriff's offices in the south end of Florida on this one case. Probably. Okay, it's not going to get by. It's not going to get by. It's just time. The book has been opened. The page is laid out. We know it all.
Look at, I told you, you need to go and wait until they give you time of death and check that.
This isn't CSI and forensic files and crap like that. It's time to start admitting what you did, honestly. No more games.
An innocent person's going to go to jail.
Dee Dee, stop for a minute.
We
know Cedric's not involved.
He really worried me.
Are you serious? 5 minutes ago, if I hadn't have told you that we had the audio tapes, you were going to tell us it was Cedric. Dee Dee, tell us what happened then. Don't come up with fake names. You need to run this down.
I gave you the exact scenario of everything happened except for the names of people.
Well, then why not give the name?
Every time I gave the same exact story of exactly how it happened.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
No, they've been
different.
Different versions.
Ronald, Cedric, this, that, blah, blah, blah.
Shit, you even named your own son at one point.
You would ruin that boy's life. He'll never be the same.
I know that. And I
Never be the same because of you. You don't care. You don't care. You care about you.
No, I
You're
don't
the
care.
only one that you care about. You're the most selfish woman I've ever seen in my life. I want the truth from you for the first time since November 29th.
I told you the truth. I don't
No, you
know the
haven't.
guy. He
No,
came in and he...
No, you haven't.
Yeah, tell that cop's getting mad. Holy shit.
With the evidence that was already obtained, and a series of changing stories, Doris was then charged with the first-degree premeditated murder of Abraham Shakespeare. During her court proceedings, it became relatively clear that Doris was not going to let up on any of her previous stories. Her mental disorders seemed to culminate with each and every court appearance, clarifying the assertion that she was in fact a pathological liar.
What a difference a day makes for Dee Dee Moore. Yesterday and several days this week, Moore was in tears during her murder trial. But today, she was smiling and stayed on the judge's good side for a change. Our Allison Morrow's outside the Hillsborough County Courthouse with the latest on this up-and-down trial. Allison?
Yeah, it really is, Brendan. We do think that this mood swing is a result of more scolding from the judge yesterday for crying too much. Take a look at this video. She actually started the morning by giving her attorneys a thumbs-up sign. She prayed for about 30 seconds and then just kept on smiling, as you said, even though testimony today really wasn't in her favor. An investigator with the state attorney's office told jurors that after Abraham Shakespeare, her alleged victim, met Moore, that his bank account took a quick nosedive from more than $1 million to zero. And Moore is accused of killing him, of course, for all of that money. But her attorneys argued that Shakespeare really had already spent most of his $13 million before he ever met their client.
He didn't have any trouble spending money or going through large sums of money.
He spent a lot of money, yes. Now, whether he bought a car, property, all of this, loan money out.
Now, we do have a crew inside the courthouse right now when we know this is not over yet today. In fact, some of the most compelling material is happening right now. Jurors are watching video of detectives interrogating Moore, and they keep telling her that her story just doesn't add up and basically accusing her of lying about murder. So we'll have all of that for you at 11 o'clock tonight.
She's accused of killing a lottery winner after taking control of his wealth. And today, Dee Dee Moore watched video of herself explaining exactly what happened to Abraham Shakespeare when he vanished in 2010.
Well, deputies suggested that Moore was a pathological liar and that every time they asked her where Shakespeare was, she would create an elaborate fairy tale to mislead investigators.
Dee Dee Moore was treated in the jail infirmary after she complained about pain from her leg restraints.
I had an anaphylactic, sorry, my tongue. I had an anaphylactic shock.
Once cleared by a doctor, the trial continued with video of hours of questioning by Polk County investigators. Moore gave a wide variety of excuses why Abraham Shakespeare disappeared. One detective told the jury Moore even made a pass at him after the interrogation.
She actually came toward me and she said that I wasn't going to get angry, that I was going to have sex with her. She said she was very attracted to me and hoped once her name was clear that I would pursue a relationship with her.
But in the end, this disastrous web of lies that sadly ended the life of Abraham Shakespeare also ended the freedom of the insect that spun it. And Doris Donegan Moore, aka Dee Dee Moore, was convicted for the murder of Abraham Shakespeare. And on December 10th, 2012, she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Cold, calculated, cruel, they all apply. Manipulative, probably the most manipulative person that this court has seen.
Abraham
Bro,
Shakespeare was
my favorite part is she
prey,
just
and your victim,
sitting there shaking her head like,
money
yeah,
was
yeah, I
the root
agree.
of the evil that you brought to Abraham.
And with that, he sentenced Moore to
Yeah,
life
yeah,
in
yeah,
prison
yeah,
without
yeah.
parole.
To this day, Dee Dee Moore still claims that she is completely innocent of the charges that she was convicted of.
Of course she does. No accountability, baby. So I need to get back 1.0.
He learned to ride horses, and Jim worked as a gold miner. Over time, Jim and Alicia realized they were not good married, so Alicia moved out but stayed nearby to make it easier for her and Jim to raise their children together while living apart. Brittany lives with her father where she can ride her horse daily. James described her and Jim's relationship as the best father-child duo ever. Brittany's name was Gabrielle Yalaki, but as the years passed, people called her Brittany and it stuck. With graduation not too far away, Brittany's eyes are set on joining the Navy as a nurse or psychologist. Between her horses, her family, and her friends, she has a wonderful life for a 16-year-old. But on Sunday, March 8, 2020, nothing went according to plan. Every other Sunday, Jim had band practice, which Brittany enjoyed attending. Jim said that he couldn't wait for her witty remarks to come in.
Yeah, let's
While the
see.
band was practicing, Brittany was Snapchatting with her friends.
1.14 mil.
She told her father
So made
that
over
her friend
100K
Bryce
doing that?
was
That's
coming
actually
to pick
sick.
her up. As she went outside to meet up with Bryce, she told her father that she would beat him home. Bryce and Brittany had met at the rodeo years earlier and became friends. Over the years, Bryce would ensure that Brittany got home on time and kept an eye out for her, making her parents happy. The two would hang out after school, go to the rodeo,
Got
drive
free
around
100
town,
off
and get food
of it,
together.
so I can go
That
back to
night,
doing
after
winter
band
toad if I
practice,
really
Jim
wanted
got
to.
home around 7:30, and Brittany wasn't there. He tried calling her phone, and it went straight to voicemail.
Do I do it?
So he called Alicia and asked if she knew where Brittany was. Alicia recalled hearing a concerning tone in Jim's voice.
Do I do it?
Not
Do I
knowing
go back
where
to
her
winter
daughter
toad
was,
it?
Alicia called her phone, and she too
Or
was
do
sent
I-
straight to voicemail. She said that her heart sank because she knew something was wrong. Brittany
Let's
always
go
had her phone
get a
on.
Slayer task.
Alicia immediately called her son and asked if he had heard from his sister. James said that he hadn't. He tried to calm his mother down and told her
Let's
that
go get-
Brittany probably went to a party. Alicia told her son to get a hold of Bryce to find out what was happening. James texted Bryce saying, "Hey, where's Brittany at?" Bryce replied saying he had dropped her off at Spring Creek High School. James asked, "Who did you drop her off with?" Bryce said, "White guy, tall, had a cowboy look. I didn't really get much of a better look than that." Bryce said that he had dropped Brittany off with a new friend of hers and that the guy drove a truck. Bryce described the truck as a green, ugly F-150 from the early 2000s. When James relayed the information to his mother, she panicked. Alicia didn't want to believe that her daughter would get in a truck with a random cowboy. However, she said her daughter was 16 years old and could have had a crush on a cowboy.
She didn't want her to get in the car with a random cowboy.
Jim
That's like the
contacted
dumbest shit
Elko
I think
County
I've
Sheriff's
ever heard.
Office, but
Dumbest shit I
ultimately
think I've ever
decided
heard.
to hold off on reporting Brittany missing as the family was still checking with friends. Jim said that he didn't sleep that night and called Alicia early the following day and told her to call the police to file a missing persons report.
Hello. Okay, so
Bruh.
is it son or daughter? Daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. What is daughter's name?
Brittany, you want to pick me get a picture? Her friend that had her. I talked to him. He dropped her off at the high school down here at 4 o'clock with some guy. And I go, "What guy?" And he goes, "I don't know. She just said my new friend." Tall, white, cowboy-looking guy with a green truck. And now nobody can find her. None of her friends. Her phone's not on.
Okay.
I don't know what to do.
Has she ever did this before?
No.
Ever done this before?
No. And even when she does go out and do dumb things, we get a call with some crazy kind of an excuse. You know what I mean? Trying to get her out of trouble. Nothing. Not a friend. None of her friends are best friends. Nobody can find her.
Okay. I need you to take a seat because there's some important information that I need from you, okay?
Okay.
So I know you're upset right now, but this is all important stuff that's going to help me put something in with dispatch so that we can let everybody know that she's hasn't came home.
Okay.
And nobody's talked to her, okay?
Okay.
That way if anybody has contact with her, they can, they'll know right away, and then law enforcement will take her into custody at that time, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I have a pen right here, you can use that. And as you're filling that out, I'll just talk to you a little bit. So yesterday, have you guys tried to call any of her friends or?
Everybody.
Nobody's heard from her?
No.
Okay.
Which is weird. Because she's a social media freak. You know what I mean? She's always talking to people. Yesterday and the last few days, we've been in a really good lull. I talked to her FaceTime for an hour at like 1:30. Everything was just fine. Okay. She was just happy-go-lucky. Everything was good.
And all we know is that it was a green truck. We know nothing else about the individual.
No, the boy said it was an ugly green F-150 from the early 2000s.
Is there any other friends that were with Bryce, or it was just Bryce?
It was just Bryce.
And she was with him, and then he dropped her off, and he had no idea who this guy was?
No, and he even said it seemed sketchy. And I'm like, well, why'd you leave her? Why'd you leave her?
Hey, young man, what's your name?
James.
James. Do any of you guys have access to her social media accounts?
I don't. I've had her friends pouring through them. And her last post was at like 5:30 last night.
Did Bryce happen to mention it if it was a Nevada license plate?
Did he see that much?
No, he didn't see anything about the truck. He said he was a pretty good distance away from it.
So he dropped her off and then she walked quite a ways? She didn't want him to just pull up to the vehicle? Her request was to stop.
Okay,
from
AJ.
so she could walk.
AJ.
He said he dropped her off right in front of the school, and then she walked into the parking lot.
Okay. He described the green as being like a, what color green?
Like a darker green. And he said it was like one of the really ugly, like early 2000s, he said.
Ford F-150?
Yeah.
Her best friend.
And his name was Bryce, right?
Mm-hmm. Said that she's been talking to a guy named JT. She says she doesn't know anymore. She just keeps calling him JT. She goes, has anybody talked to a guy named JT? I know they've been talking a lot lately.
What's Bryce's last name?
Dickie.
Dickie. I'll try to do some follow-up and call and talk to someone. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any more information than you guys have got. And unfortunately, all we have is a green truck. That's a Ford. With somebody that nobody knows who this guy is.
Yeah.
Do we even know what this guy looked like? Did he give any descriptors of the guy?
Yeah, he said he was a tall, white cowboy.
Why would he call him a cowboy? Does he dress like a cowboy? I'm going to go get this put in. I'll call and let you know as soon as this is put in. Like I said, if she has contact with any law enforcement once this is put in, then they'll just take her into custody and we'll contact you. Let you know that we have your daughter. I'll also call you back and let you know what my supervisor says and what the next course of action is going to be, okay?
Okay, we need boots and our arrows.
I'm going to give you my card.
We need
Make sure you
boots.
call and let me know so that I'm still in the loop of what's going on, okay?
Sergeant Doug Fisher of the Operations Division of the Elko County Sheriff's Office asked Bryce to meet him in the parking lot of the local high school. An officer had already spoken to him the night Brittany went missing. However, Sergeant Fisher wanted to visualize what happened.
Hey Bryce. How's it going? Good, man. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, no problem.
So, kind of run me through it so I can understand what's going on.
Alright, so Sunday, around 11.
This is what I need as well.
Got a few texts from Brittany, just asked if I wanted to hang out. I said sure, get ready and stuff. Told me she could meet me at Angel Park because she said her dad was doing band practice. And then went to town. called her when I got into town on 5th, and then picked her up at Angel Park, drove around, went up towards Mountain View, asked what she wanted to do. Said she had no idea, said, why don't we just go drive around to Spring Creek since we got more room over there. So we went back over the hill, just started chatting, talked about her finishing school, how school was going for me. Kept driving around, and then we were over in the horse palace section, and my dad called me asking if I could come back home. So I told her I needed to go. Asked her if she wanted me to just drop her back off at Angel Park, and she said that she wanted me to drop her off at the high school to meet her new friend, and said her dad was going to pick her up later. So then came over here, pulled in right over there, gave her a hug and stuff, and then she got out. I pulled out and then started heading that way, and the F-150 was over there, but I didn't know that was where she was going at that time. And then got about right towards where it opens up, and then looked back, and they were both standing outside the truck. And then I got to the turnout right over there by the middle school, and then the F-150 was in motion.
Okay. So you said what was the F-150?
Yeah, it was ones that are really ugly looking, have the like sidestep in them.
Okay. Like that winter green, dark forest green?
Like a dark forest green.
Okay. So
What's a winter green?
Where did you go?
Winter green. Interesting. Learn something new every day. Dark green, basically. Yeah.
You guys go? I mean, you said you were with her for how long?
Dropped her off at 4:30, so that's three and a half hours.
I'm sure that you didn't drive around for 3.5 hours. That's a waste of gas.
No, I drove around for 3.5 hours.
Okay. That's all you did for 3.5 hours? That seems really odd that you just drive aimlessly around.
That's what I do almost every day. I was in my Chevy.
What's your Chevy?
It's a 93 Chevy 1500. Sorry, Silverado.
Single cab or double?
Single. Single with a long bed.
So you just drove around? You didn't stop anywhere?
No. We didn't stop at all. We literally just kept doing circles. Drove around towards the sports complex. Looped back around to the housing section.
I just think it's kind of odd. I think you know more than what you're telling me.
Spearmint leaf green, fair.
Not a bad way, but any of my friends you can ask, that's what we do most of the time is literally just drive around Spring Creek for hours.
Well, I'm thinking you know more about Brittany than what you're actually confident. I've been doing this for a long time, and I usually can smell somebody that's leaving out something. So what are you leaving out?
I'm not leaving out anything, sir. There's nothing that I'm leaving out. Do you know what streaks are? By any chance? Okay, so it's just, if you, like, picture-wise, you can, like, text and then actually send pictures. So if you send a picture with someone for, like, 10 straight days and it starts to streak, it's kind of a dumb teenager thing, but I do it. But I had a streak with Brittany for, like, 70 days, and out of habit, I still send it to her.
So, you haven't had anything from her since Sunday, and that's it? Where are you? Are you okay? Answer the phone. What time was that, Keith?
That was 6:14.
Little sis is what you're referring to her as?
Yeah, she's called me big brother since, like, my 8th grade year. We have a friend group here of around, like, 30, 40 people, and even more than that know Brittany. Brittany's really known all around Spring Creek.
Why's that?
She's, well, like, in the last, between, like, 3 years ago and, like, a year and a half ago, she kind of made a name for herself because a lot of people around here didn't like Brittany.
Okay.
In that period, she got in a lot of fights.
Okay.
But, and then she talks to a lot of people.
So what else can you tell me about this phantom truck and dude? Like, be specific.
Okay, so it looked completely stock because it wasn't very tall at all. The windows didn't look tinted at all to me.
Were they rolled down or were they up?
Up. Okay. It looked decently dirty, but just like about as much as that truck is right there.
A typical truck that's...
Yeah, typical Spring Creek truck.
At this time of year, okay.
Yeah. And then, had a silver toolbox in the bed. It had stickers on the back window, but I didn't see what any of them were.
What time was that, you said?
I dropped her off at right around 4:30.
Using their only lead, Elko County sheriffs put out a press release stating Brittany was missing and that they were looking for a green Ford F-150. Another avenue detectives looked into to find Brittany was tracing her cell phone, which had yet to be located. Believing she was in a life-threatening situation, police requested Elko Central Dispatch ping her phone to provide a GPS location. Brittany's phone pinged on Boyd Kennedy Road, so deputies conducted a thorough search of the area. While the Elko County Sheriff's Office was doing everything possible to locate Brittany, her family and friends did their searches. Brittany's close friend, Selena Winkler, said the entire town was looking for a green F-150. Selena asked Bryce if he could think of anywhere no one had searched. He said the Spring Creek Mountains. Bryce then said, "I love you, I'm so sorry this happened, but I hope you guys don't blame me." Selena replied, "Bryce, we definitely do not blame you one bit. We love you too, bud. Keep your head up." Now 36 hours after Brittany went missing, Alicia printed 540 flyers and had them hung throughout Elko and Spring Creek. She also made posts on Facebook asking if anyone had information. A tip line was established, receiving calls every 2 to 3 minutes. Investigators sorted through those
Is this kid gonna
tips
commit
to verify
suicide?
which ones were credible until late in the evening of March 10th, when Alicia received an alarming text message from a number she didn't recognize. The person who sent the text said they had Brittany, and if they didn't receive $7,000, she would be killed. The alleged kidnappers told Alicia that Brittany was sick from the drug they used to sedate her and that she would die soon. When Alicia told the detectives about the ransom demands, they told her not to reply until they could trace the phone number. The next morning, Alicia went to the sheriff's office. She showed the text messages to Detective Stake to start tracking down the phone number. The detective ushered her into an interview room while specialists analyzed her phone. Their goal was to trace the source of the ransom messages before Brittany was harmed. At that point, Detective Stake received a call from Sergeant Fisher, who was outside of town in a remote area called Burner Basin. Local residents aiding in the search for Brittany found something concerning and called the police.
It looks like a human head to me. Yeah, it looks like a chest cavity in the dark. We walked over here on this side. I'm pretty sure that's their drag marks there.
Actually, I'll just get you guys started on a statement so you don't have to linger around out here. How's that? If you take a couple seconds and fill out your name, information, kind of what you're doing and what you saw.
Yeah.
Probably should go down the bottom and come up, because this is probably what we're going to have to work right here.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't see any tracks going in right else.
Drag mark right there. We got drag marks right there.
Yeah. Big time drag marks.
Yeah, so let's go down the bottom and come up the bottom of the gulch. that's a 1092. That's a body.
Yeah.
Let's get out.
Yep.
I can see enough right now. Looks like a girl's hand. Let's back out. Yeah. Yeah. I will. I'm gonna get their vehicles out. We'll get the crime scene secured and.
So it's definitely that kid that said, "I hope you guys don't blame
The
me."
whole thing. All right. Hey Nick. We got a female body. We have a female body. I don't know if it's her or what, but we have a female body out behind Burner Basin. Got drag marks and a bunch of things. So we had two guys that found them. We're getting their statements. I'll get a picture of their footprints that are going in and out, and I'll get a picture of their tread marks. Basically, she face down, pants down. She's got black heels on, like boots on. Let's grab. We'll get tire print from them, and then also take their shoe prints because they went in there.
Okay.
For exclusion.
Exclusion purposes, yeah. Sounds good to me.
Sorry, you guys got to go through this. This is what I do.
The worst part is I know her dad.
Well, let's not assume.
The ransom demands immediately came to Detective Stake's mind. Was Brittany hurt because they didn't meet the ransom demands? The detective had to get to the scene immediately, but first had to notify Alicia.
On the phone, okay, and I just want to let you know that we have found a body.
Alicia said that she knew it was her daughter, and that's when the panic set in.
I'm gonna pass out. Can you get me some help? Can you get me some help?
Yep,
Can you
there's
get
some
me
people.
some
Okay.
Give me some help. Oh my God, give me some help. We're out.
Detective Stakes said that throughout his career, the one thing that sticks with him was the sound Alicia made. He said it was the worst sound he'd ever heard in law enforcement. When Detective Stake arrived at the scene, he first noticed the bloodstain on the roadway. A significant amount of blood saturated the soil in several areas. A condom wrapper was found on the edge of the roadway. Drag marks led from the bloodstains near the road to a female body located underneath a blue tarp. The body was face down and the tarp was loosely draped. When the tarp was removed, the body showed signs of sexual assault as her pants and underwear were down at her ankles. Additional blood was found around the body near what appeared to be a puncture wound on her neck. To the north of the body, a keychain inscribed with the name Brittany was located. Sergeant Fisher searched the area for any additional evidence. He located a pair of white apple earbuds hanging from a sagebrush. Upon further inspection, he noticed a used condom in another nearby sagebrush. At that time, the body was sent for an autopsy to confirm her identity officially. A phone was later discovered approximately a half a mile away from the body. The phone appeared to have been struck by an unknown object and was most likely thrown out the window of a vehicle. The mangled phone fit the description of Brittany's iPhone XR. After dental records confirmed that the body was Brittany, it was time to notify the family. Sergeant Fisher went to Brittany's father, Jim's house. Jim said that as soon as he saw Sergeant Fisher, he knew. Sergeant Fisher informed him that they had found Brittany's body and reassured him that they were going to solve the case. He stayed with Jim for a while to ensure.
Fuck, man, I could go for a Coke right now so bad.
Jim then called Alicia, who at that point already knew. About 10 minutes later, James opened her bedroom door. He woke up to numerous messages saying, "I'm sorry for your loss." His parents confirmed the horrifying news. James couldn't believe it. He thought they had got the identification wrong. He said that he went completely numb and felt lost. Brittany's friend, Cheyenne Fry, drove to Alicia's house with the biggest bouquet she could find and hugged Alicia. In a Facebook post, Bryce said, "Yesterday we all received news that made us hit the floor. Around 8 in the morning, we started meeting up at my house to grieve and to mourn Brittany's life, which was taken far too soon. That day, I had tears of pain and joy. I wish she could have seen the amount of us that came together to honor you, sis. We love you so much. Just know you won't ever be forgotten. While Brittany's family and friends mourn, investigators examine Alicia's phone to determine who was behind the ransom messages. An investigator tracked down the phone number and found out it was a spoof number that wasn't located in Nevada. This, along with the kidnappers requesting gift cards as payment, led detectives to believe that the ransom demands were invalid.
Bazad. I hope I pronounced that right. What's up, alcoholic guy? What's up?
Some of the posts she made about Brittany missing. Investigators explained to her that it was most likely a gift card scam. Detective Stake then went to the coroner's office, hoping the autopsy results would provide a new lead. Brittany's cause of death was strangulation and blood loss from the neck wound. The puncture wound severed the carotid artery. Samples from a rape test kit were collected. Swabs from Brittany's neck and fingernails were also taken.
Canadian, eh?
She had superficial bruising on her hands consistent with defensive wounds. Detectives made arrangements with the crime lab to expedite the DNA. Evidence found at the scene, like the used condom, was also sent for DNA testing. While detectives await
Bazad, my man, appreciate you for subscribing.
Turns back to the cowboy driving a green Ford F-150. They searched for anyone in the area who went by JT and had a green F-150. Detectives identified 2 JTs with green F-150s, but after looking into their whereabouts, they determined that neither man was in the area at the time of Brittany's murder. Detectives then scrubbed through surveillance footage from businesses near Spring Creek High School. They were looking for the green F-150.
Same from London, Ontario, eh? Yo, you live close by then.
Cameras captured the roadway in the direction
you live close by, my
Brittany's
man.
Body was found, and one of the entrances to
I gotta rewind this video a bit because I just missed an important part of the case right there.
150 Brittany was last seen alive in. But after looking into their whereabouts, they determined that neither man was in the area at the time of Brittany's murder. Detectives then scrubbed through
how
surveillance
close?
footage from
Like, so close I could kiss you right on the lips. That's how close. It's always good to pretend you know what you're doing. Fake it till you make it, right?
businesses near Spring Creek High School. They were looking for the green F-150 Brittany was last seen alive in. The Maverick convenience store cameras captured the roadway in the direction where Brittany's body was found.
What? I bet you there's no green F-150. It's got to be that kid.
And one of the entrances to Spring Creek High School. As they look through the footage, instead of seeing a green F-150, they spot Bryce's blue Chevy pickup truck.
Yup. Give me a hint. The dirty part of Ontario.
Bryce's truck can be seen bypassing the entrance to Spring Creek High School and continuing on Boyd Kennedy Road in the direction where Brittany's body was found.
Bro, that's foul as fuck. This piece of shit raped her, murdered her, and then fucking had the audacity.
Knowing they had been lied to, bro. Detectives bring in Bryce for an interview. He was brought in under the auspices of sharing his phone data. But what investigators are really after is his DNA.
Just showing you, door's not locked. You're not locked in here, all right? Like I said, you're not under arrest. Okay. At this point, you're not even really a suspect, okay? But like I said, just because of the nature of the investigation, we gotta make sure that we do everything super thorough, okay?
Bro, that's wild. I knew it was gonna be this fucking scumbag too. Well, obviously the guy was alluding to it.
But I'm not clear on a lot of things. And
it's
I'm
just
doing
that.
the best job that I can do.
It's fucked to me how people can do this shit. St. Thomas? St. Thomas? Nah, man. Come on now. I'm from the Dirty Hammer, dog. I'm from the Dirty Hammer.
So hopefully you can
ask any question you would like.
Perfect, man. Thank you very much. First and foremost, you're how old?
I'm 18.
Okay. Like I said, you're not under arrest right now. If you think that I'm being an asshole or something like that, you can get and walk out.
You surprised you didn't get shot? Bro, I'll tell you this right now. Where I live, man, motherfuckers be dying every day.
Like I said, if you have any questions or if you need to clarify anything that I'm
Will there be fentanyl, fucking stabbing, shootings? Motherfuckers dying every day.
So if you need any clarification whatsoever, please let me
I had one of my neighbors actually overdose on fentanyl 3 days ago.
I have some questions as well, but like I said, right now, as far as we know, you're the only person that saw her alive, or the last person that saw her alive, okay?
Okay.
So she's texting you. Did she text you first, or sorry? When I say text, Snapchat. Did she snap you first?
I was just saying Snapchat, so I could be specific.
Okay, yeah.
Bent heads, yes sir. They're fucking zombies everywhere around where I live.
I don't remember who texted first.
Okay, that's okay. And what did she say? Do you remember kind of how the conversation went? Was it? And what I'm getting at is, I mean, are you guys in any type of dating relationship at all?
No.
No. Okay. So it wasn't like, hey, let's go hang out and go.
Hey, let's go hang out and fuck, baby.
And so you're heading up to Angel Park, and now when you say you picked her up at Angel Park, I assume drive time from Silver to Angel roughly 5-10 minutes.
Probably 5.
Maybe 5.
Max. There wasn't bad traffic that time.
Okay. So meet her, and now when you say you picked her up at Angel Park, was that at Angel Park?
Yeah, right in the. When I pulled off by Family Dollar, I don't know the name of that road. She was standing right in the middle of the parking lot on the phone.
At Angel Park?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's in the parking lot on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay. So you pick her up, and what were you driving at that?
It's crazy to me how many of these like weak ass minded motherfuckers are always like taking advantage of women and shit like that. It's always these weak ass men, like weak ass minded men that are doing it, bro. I swear to God.
Chevy Silverado?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guarantee you, this kid's motive, bro. She said no to dating him tons of times, and then homeboy was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking it down to my own hands. We having sex whether you want to or not, girl. Fucking losers, bro.
I'm slightly rough on the color, but I'm pretty sure it's like really dark blue, but it looks black.
Okay, all right. So darker color.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Did she say anything about anyone that she was having problems with, or any people that she was interested in, or anything like that?
We all knew she was talking to some guy that we think was in New York, but we knew she'd be talking to him for a while.
Okay.
Besides that, and then, like I told everyone else, a lot of people had problems with Brittany, but nothing that we would see with this outcome.
Sure. Well, hopefully, yeah. Okay. And now's not the time to hold back words, man. Did she have a bad reputation or something like that?
With a lot, because she used to get in a lot of fights, and a lot of people didn't like. Brittany was a very straightforward person.
Okay. Hi, boo-boo!
A lot of people didn't like that because she was very honest.
Okay.
So a lot of people.
Hello.
They just didn't like.
Come on, Bubba. Come here, boo-boo.
Yeah.
Come here. Right. You want to snuggle? You want to snuggle? Come here.
We went through, kind of did like the full circle.
Dude, don't look at me like I'm retarded or something. Just get the fuck over here or don't.
And then,
alright, don't then. Goddamn.
So I asked her if she wanted
my dog's just sitting there looking at me.
Her off back at Angel Park or where her dad was having practice.
Like,
and then.
Oh, damn, bro.
She was on her phone for about 30 seconds ish, and then asked me if she drop her off at the high school to meet her new friend.
Did she give any indication, I'm sorry, of who she may have been talking to or anything like that?
No, she just described a new friend, but also, same thing, Brittany was always finding new friends. I mean, she had a new best friend probably about every month or so.
And it still is reeks of crackheads? Yeah, I mean, if you go downtown Hamilton now, there's literally just encampments of fucking homeless people. It never used to be like that. Even where I live, like I don't live like right in Hamilton. I don't live right in Hamilton. I live close by. It's like even where I live, it's like a nice area, like a nicer area. And there's still just tons of fucking like degenerate pieces of shit coming around, camping out and stuff. It's fucking wild.
F-150, and then by the time I'd gotten back out and onto the highway, the F-150 was pulling out.
All right, so you basically made a loop then, essentially?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and then heading back out towards Maverick. Okay, and so you see the green F-150?
Yeah.
No doubt in your mind, F-150?
Yeah. No, I know exactly what truck it is because, to be bluntly, they're ugly as hell. There's only one truck like that because they have that like bubble shape to them almost.
Okay.
Was there any other trucks parked over there or any other vehicles?
There was a few, but there was a softball, baseball, and FFA going that weekend.
So it was busy.
Yeah. Did you actually see her get into the truck, or you just seen the truck leaving after you left?
Well, I saw because I got right about here, and then cut straight across the parking lot. Saw her over at the F-150 with someone. That was it.
I wonder how these people keep all their fucking. I wonder how they keep all the lies straight. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to lie like that. I would fucking like. I wouldn't be able to keep it straight. When they said leave your keys outside of your door, who the fuck said that? Whoever said that is just dumb.
Because the deputies told me that
You should never leave your keys outside.
with you had provided a description of someone that may have been the driver of that truck.
They kept saying I gave a description, but literally the only thing I saw was a cowboy hat. That was it.
Okay, so you couldn't tell if he was tall, short, fat, skinny, anything like that?
The hat looked towards the top of the cab, so I said that, and they took it as tall. I'm like, that's why.
Cokehead statement.
Facts. Not in a bad way, but I kind of just stopped saying stuff because it kept getting twisted around, and I kept hearing different versions of what I said.
Well, that's why I want clarification.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that's why I just want to make sure.
Yeah, police are fucking stupid, bro. We got a bunch of libtards in control of our country, man. It's fucking sad.
No, he got, when I was over here, they were both standing outside the truck, but then by the time I had gotten right in front of the high school on the highway, the truck...
I know what to do. Instead of fixing the problem, why don't we just enable them?
She was wearing, like, I don't know how else to describe it besides, like, hippie bell-bottoms. They're like leggings, but bell-bottoms.
So they're elastic, but they're
yes.
bell-bottoms on the bottom? Okay.
They were, like, really fluorescent, like, tie-dyed color.
Oh, they're pretty loud, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
Homie just said they were loud, bro. They was loud, fam. They was loud.
Gray sweatshirt, zip up.
Okay. Did you see the shirt on underneath the zip up? No. Did she have anything in her hair, or wearing a hat, or anything?
No, she had a lot of makeup over her eyes, but she always wears a decent amount of makeup.
Okay. And then she had her phone at that time too, right?
Yeah, all she had, at least that I didn't notice anything else besides her keys and her phone.
Yeah, just leave the key. Yeah, just leave the keys outside. Who cares if they fucking torch your car? It's insurance, baby. You're good to go.
The high school lanyard.
Yeah, they all kind of look the same, like the gray purple color.
Is your truck a single cab?
Yeah, it's a single cab.
Single cab. What about the F-150?
If you threw off a bridge and it looked like something else, that's funny, bro.
It looked. I didn't.
Ooh, that's right.
So
That's what old people say.
Because when you pulled into the parking lot, it was facing you when you weren't paying attention to it, right?
Yeah, it was parked straight towards the high school, so I came up right behind it.
Okay.
But I mean, there's still a good probably 40 feet between where I was driving and where he was parked.
Okay.
Did you notice on the bed if it was a step side?
Yeah, that's where one of the details that's also been getting mixed up a lot is that.
It's crazy how much detail this kid came up with. What the fuck?
What type of truck it was because it had the step side right in between the bed and the cab.
No doubt on that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And was there anything else on the truck that stuck out?
I saw a sticker in the back window, but
Until they're 50? A lot of these people, when they get put in jail at 18, bro, they're getting like 75, 80 years for most of the shit that they do on these channels. Most of these kids never getting out, bro. They just dying in there.
I didn't see the right side of it at all.
Oh, when you need to... Yeah. Seriously, just treat it like real life, bro. You're good to go.
About the truck that might specific or help narrow it down?
I swore that I saw a toolbox, but I can't be 100% on that.
Sure, understand. Okay.
Because I had gotten a text from her friend Cheyenne, probably about like half an hour after I dropped her off, that she couldn't get a hold of her, but I didn't really take any concern until her brother started texting me. Yeah, James didn't text me until about 8:16.
At night?
Yeah.
Okay.
He texted me right about then, and then asked for my phone number around 8:30, and then that's when I got a call from one of the deputies.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's how they got a hold of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I called my friends.
You wouldn't cut the grass at the prison? I would, bro.
Brittany. I texted her brother James. I was trying to see if I could get a hold of anyone that knew anything. My friend came and grabbed me, and then we were trying to organize like search parties and stuff because, like, Brittany going and doing stuff is an oddball, but Brittany is the person that, like, will always text her dad.
Oh, okay.
So when she didn't, we got really worried.
Gotcha.
So we went out looking till probably about 2 o'clock, and then we all went home.
Gotcha. Okay. Man, you put in some effort.
Yeah. No, we were out there for probably about 6 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
She didn't leave nothing inside your truck or nothing like that?
Nothing that I found.
Have you guys ever been into an intimate relationship?
No.
Is the ambulance came and landed on the water? That's hilarious.
Kissing or friends with benefits or nothing like that?
So one of the things that we like to do just to be thorough, man.
They wouldn't bring the inmates out to help you at all, bro. The inmates wouldn't help you. They wouldn't help you cut grass.
Any reason whatsoever, because obviously in these situations they go full bore, right? Is there any reason whatsoever that they would find your DNA on her or in her?
No, not that I'm. Besides maybe like a bag of hair or something on her jacket, there would be nothing else.
So no sexual relationship whatsoever?
No.
Okay, okay. Is there anything on your phone that you would be concerned with us finding?
No.
No, okay. Do you have any problem if we take a look at your phone just to make sure that we're good to go?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Was there anybody in specific in the school itself that she continually told no, that may have been frustrated with that?
From what I've been told, she hangs out with a lot of people, but from what I've been told by a lot of people is that she still has yet to have sexual intercourse with anyone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, that's
Is
respectable.
what I've been told.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's not a girl that's considered easy in high school and
No.
she told somebody no and they got frustrated because they were told no.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
She's easy to be friends with, but not to date. No, she's.
Okay. Would you be willing to submit
Thank you.
A buccal swab just for your DNA?
What's a buccal swab?
So it's essentially just 2 Q-tips. You can do it yourself. They're a Q-tip about as long as this pin. You rub it on the inside of your cheek, and then you take the other one and rub the inside of the other cheek. We put it in a box. That way we have your DNA. It's suspected, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was some kind of sexual activity, what they're suspecting.
Okay.
Not saying that you were that person and you have no reason
No,
to
I
have your
understand.
DNA in there, but you're the last person that we know of that was with her when she was alive.
Yeah.
Basically for you, it'd almost be like an elimination, you know, kind of like, hey, this isn't our dude.
No, I have no problem.
Okay, man, be right back with you, all right?
All right.
All right.
Bryce was let go while they awaited the DNA results. 4 days later, the results came back from the crime lab. The DNA test on the used condom matched Bryce and Brittany. Swabs from Brittany's neck and underneath her fingernails matched Bryce Dickey's DNA. With this new evidence, Bryce is brought in for one more interview.
I'm surprised this kid didn't commit suicide. But kind of where I figured this shit was going. He sent that message to the friend earlier. And like, yeah, I'm surprised this kid didn't commit suicide. That's definitely where I thought that shit was going.
Oh, no, I'm not good.
All right, I'll be right back. I'll go over this with you. Okay. Just so you know, everything in this room is recorded and everything like that. So.
Okay.
Hey, brother. Well, tell me about Brittany. What's she like?
You're gonna have to ask a question because that's a lot. Brittany is not in like a bad way or anything, but I mean.
Right. Well, what was Brittany to you?
They use fires to fight wildfires.
Like I've known her
yeah.
since 7 or 8.
Prison and shit's completely different in Canada compared to the States. Fucking night and
I
day.
didn't even start calling her. I called her little sis for about the last 2.5, 3 years, but she called me big brother since probably about like right after the first year that I met her. But one of the closest people to me. She was. A lot of people didn't like her for a lot of reasons, but she was very blunt and kept to who she was, even if a lot of people didn't like that. So that was why a lot of people in Spring Creek didn't like her, just because she was extremely honest. No, she was always happy. She would get in a lot of like actual fights, but then a month later she would be best friends with the person she got in a fight with. She knew almost everyone. Seemed like there wasn't somebody in this town she didn't know. But she was extremely sweet. Pretty much always had a smile on her face. I haven't met anybody that's actually like had intentions to hurt Brittany.
One other question. If you could say something to Brittany, what would you say?
Easy. I love you. That'd be the first thing I would say.
What about the second?
No, I'm sorry. Because I kind of blame myself for all this. Even though, well,
blame yourself.
I mean, I know that I didn't know what was going to happen, but I mean, I'm the last one that freaking saw her before she's dead. And I mean, her mom even made me promise that I wouldn't blame myself, but kind of still have a lot of regrets and a lot of stuff I wish I would have done differently that day. Because I wish I would have just taken her back to town to her dad. But told her when we were at the balloon release was the first time I saw her after it all happened, but I saw her and we hugged and I said I was sorry and kind of both broke down, and then she made me promise that I wouldn't blame myself, stuff like that, and then the whole family kind of...
Imagine, bro. This kid saying sorry the whole time because he actually did it, and his the lady's family and friends and stuff are like, oh, don't blame yourself, it's not your fault. Meanwhile, he's just getting reassured this whole time. You know what I mean? That's crazy. What a piece of shit.
Told me that I meant a lot to Brittany and stuff like that, so...
Now, just out of curiosity, and we promise we won't tell your girlfriend, had you ever been intimate with...
I got that question the last 2 times.
Would you mind closing my door?
I've never been intimate.
I appreciate that, thank you.
I mean, like, a lot of people get the wrong intentions, because, I mean,
Let's go.
with all my friends...
You ready to get going?
Like, calling females, my female friends love...
Get going.
Let's go.
Get going.
Kind of the way I was raised in a sense.
He doesn't need to go outside. I'll take him out later.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And I have never had a relationship or have been in...
Love you. Night.
That's why my girlfriend was comfortable with her, is because...
He's side-eyeing you so hard right now.
No, not never. No, I never had that want or urge or anything. I literally saw Brittany as my little sister.
And is there any way that your DNA could be associated with this case in any way?
No.
No. Okay. Well, I'm kind of confused about a couple things. So round 1, you pick her up at Angel Park, and then you come into Boyd Kennedy Road entrance to the school at about what time again?
Around 4:30.
About 4:30. Okay. So we got some surveillance footage from Angel Park. This is the camera, and I know, forgive me for the blurry photo a little bit because we cleaned it out. But down here is the time, and that was 15:20. Yep.
I don't know what time it is.
3:20.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
2 hours military time.
Okay.
2 hours after you said. Yeah, so it's a little bit later than what you said, so I'm just kind of confused, and I want to clear that up with you a little bit. Because that's her walking across the street. And is that your truck?
Yeah, that looks like my truck.
And there's another picture.
Yeah, no, that's my truck.
That's your truck?
Yeah.
Okay. So that shows about 15:20.
I might be off of my timestamps. The only timestamp that I personally have is on my phone of what time I called her when I got on her. So
that's 2 hours.
It's literally the entire time I was with her, I was not on my phone.
Do you see where...
I can see where there may be concern. I understand that, sir.
Okay. And the other thing I'm just kind of confused about, okay? And like I said, I just want to clear this up with you. That's all. This is some footage from...
God, what the fuck is everyone saying?
This is some surveillance footage from the front of the store showing Boyd Kennedy Road.
Okay.
So if you look right here, you can see... Let me come over here. So, right over here... yeah, right there. Oh, that's your truck right there about?
Is it smudged together since it's so far away?
Yeah.
I think so, because I have a long day that's all I know.
Yeah, so this is the Boyd Kennedy Road right here. That's your truck.
Yeah.
That's your truck going down Boyd Kennedy Road.
entrance to the middle school and stuff is right here that goes into the parking lot. And then there's the wrestling gym, which is right there, and then it cuts right and goes right to the middle school. So that's what I went through.
That's not what you said.
No, I said I went through the Boyd entrance. I didn't.
Across from the Maverick.
Yeah.
What if I told you we had surveillance footage that appears your truck kept going out Boyd Kennedy Road?
I didn't go down Boyd Kennedy Road.
I just want to kind of clear everything up and get your explanation for that.
Some prime rib cooking? Yo.
Because you seem like a decent guy. We've been sitting here chatting.
That's actually legit. Shit, just chilling, watching you hitting some dabs. Fuck, man, I wish.
And I just want to kind of help you through this, so that way we can kind of explain this stuff.
I'm stonerless right now. No ganji.
So with these, you can kind of see from my perspective when I'm looking at this what that looks like, right?
Yeah. No, I can see 100%.
Okay.
Kind of in the middle. I got startled after the third cop I talked to, the one that called me down to the high school, because called me a liar about 3 times and kept asking me if I killed Brittany. So
somebody asked you if you killed
You'll
Brittany.
talk for me? Hey.
And it honestly startled the shit out of me. And I don't want to. I know I'm only been 18 for a little bit now, but I know I'm 18 now, so even changing a little bit on the story isn't a big thing.
Well, it is what it is. Okay, that's why I'm trying to sort through it. Okay.
Yeah, so when he talked to me, and I went down Boyd a little bit, but not far, and then I took that first left off of the Boyd Kennedy, which goes straight back to the right to the bottom of the trailer section, and then went back to the high school, but being at Boyd Kennedy at the same time, which I'm missing it. It worried me because I didn't want to. I lied because I was scared of people thinking it was going to be me, which a lot of people still do.
That's understandable.
You're the last person to see her alive.
Yeah, which honestly scares me, but I see that there's issues with me not telling 100%.
You need to be 100% honest, and you need to let everything out.
So when you said you took that first left off of Boyd Kennedy, was Brittany in the car with you at that time?
Yes, she was.
Okay.
Oh, homeboy, you just fucked up so hard.
I have like a set little thing of loops that I do when I get bored driving around Spring Creek. So
roasted.
That's one of the ones that I do a lot. And
I'm glad this guy fucked up though. He's an idiot.
Being on Boyd Kennedy, and as soon as
Homeboy definitely got mad because that chick rejected him, and he's just like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna rape you and murder you anyway."
I have one other concern.
Okay.
Okay. We located some items, or an item. Okay. Do you have any idea what that item might be?
No.
Okay. What if I told you that it had both yours and Brittany's DNA on it?
What would that be?
Do you have any idea?
No.
Now's the time to be truthful.
I'm being 100%, sir. I don't know what you're referring to.
Now, you told me before that you and Brittany had never been intimate in a sexual way.
No.
Okay, what if I said I had evidence that shows that that might not be accurate either?
I'm not lying. I've never kissed. I've never had sex with Brittany. Besides hugging and I've never had sex or any intimate relationship with Brittany.
Okay. Have you ever watched TV and seen DNA comparisons?
No. I mean, I've watched crime shows, but haven't really paid attention to it.
So, you gave a DNA sample, right?
Yes.
Okay. We found a condom. All right. And we found Brittany. And we have Brittany's DNA. Okay. We have your DNA. And we have a condom.
That can't be.
It is.
I've never had sex with Brittany. I swear. I've never had sex with Brittany.
Okay. So then explain to me how...
I don't know. I'm freaking out right now because I've never had sex with Brittany.
Okay.
I've never
so
had
explain
sex
to me how a condom has your DNA on the inside and her DNA on the outside. Because that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense, and I don't.
And you can understand my concerns. That, you know, I've been truthful with you, okay, and I
Yes,
know
sir.
I know this is really stressful. Okay, I can't imagine where you're at. All right, but we'll get through this together, okay? And I need you to help me help you. All right. And the biggest concern I have is you could see that we have some footage that kind of contradicts what you said.
Yes, sir.
You've got a condom that was recovered near Brittany's body. And it has DNA on it with both you and Brittany. Okay? And you told me that you guys had never been intimate. All right? There's
Sure.
only one way that DNA could have gotten on that condom that way.
I'm aware of that.
And you have a pattern now of lying. You were deceptive to Detective Fisher because you got scared. You just admitted that.
I admitted I was
And
scared.
your timeline doesn't match up. The other people we've talked to, their stories don't match with yours.
What do you mean they don't match with mine? Am I allowed to ask that or no?
No, absolutely.
No, you can ask.
Yeah, there's
You can ask.
issues.
We're just not going to answer it.
Okay, and things like that. But the thing I'm concerned about right now.
See, they literally didn't even answer it. They're like, yeah, you can ask whatever the fuck you want. We're just not going to answer it.
That I did it to Brittany.
Okay, if you were me, okay, how would you explain the condom?
I don't know.
If you were me looking at that as a detective, what would you make of it? Okay.
Exactly what you guys are thinking right now.
Okay, because here's the thing. If I don't know what happened, I can't help you out any more past this point. I can't help you figure out the truth. Tell me the truth. Okay? We need to get through this together. And I need to hear from you what happened. Okay?
Wait, can I ask a question?
Yes,
are
go ahead.
you guys trying to get a confession of me killing Brittany?
I'm trying to figure out how your DNA got on a condom on the inside that has her DNA on the outside. I need to figure out what happened with that condom.
Our job is to work as hard to prove innocence as it is guilt. If you didn't do this, we'll work to the end of the earth to prove that you didn't do this.
Okay.
But that requires 100% honesty on your end, because the stuff we have indicates it hasn't been there.
And that's my concern. Is we've got these.
There's a lot of faults in it, and I'm aware. It was extremely odd. Brittany was being literally the only time Brittany was being really flirty for some reason throughout that day. So we kissed, and I had gotten a blowjob, but it was through a condom. But then after I was done, she was the one who took the condom and then thought she threw it out of the truck. And then that's...
Where did that happen at?
That first road all the way down Boyd.
So...
Well, not all the way down Boyd. Thought she just threw it out the window because she was the one who pulled it off. And then, because I had thrown the wrapper and stuff out this driver window, so I thought she just threw out the passenger's.
See, that's where he could have like gotten away with that story. He says he threw the wrapper out this window. He should have said she took the wrapper and everything with her.
Driver's seat.
Okay, and where was she at in the vehicle when she was giving you the blowjob?
Kind of like bent over the bench seat in a sense, like kind of just leaning over.
Okay. And that happened about right here?
Yeah.
When I was at the scene with Brittany, I found a condom, or one of our people found a condom that was near where Brittany was at. And there was also a condom wrapper that was on the roadway as well.
Okay.
And that condom that I told you about was much closer to where Brittany was found. And this is not where Brittany was found. Okay, I just told you, I just want the truth.
No, I'm telling the truth. That's where it happened.
Where what happened?
Where Brittany and I had, or I don't know, does that count as sex? I think
Sexual act.
It's a sexual act. So that is where Brittany and I had sex.
Okay.
And then straight after, I went straight to the trailer section, and that was it.
Okay. Did you ever have any sort of intercourse, oral or otherwise, anywhere else with Brittany?
Just the blowjob. That was, besides like 2, maybe 3 kisses, and that was about it. Honestly.
Okay.
There wasn't much. It was almost didn't seem real in a sense, because she literally just asked if I wanted a blowjob. It did not quite seem real, almost.
Okay. So with everything we just talked about, if you were me, what would you think about all that?
I think you guys already know what I think you would think.
And what is that?
That I'm lying about everything. I mean, I'm smart enough to know that's what you guys are thinking.
No, I think you're very smart. From the position I sit in, okay, like I said, there's only that one chance that you have with me to tell me the truth. Because so far, you haven't told me the truth.
Bullshitter.
Sure.
Okay. And the thing I'm concerned about is that everything you've told me just does not add up. Okay?
Okay.
And I think you're very smart. You know that. Okay? So, help me figure out what the truth is. But I need to hear that from you.
So, the, Angel Park timeline, that I didn't actually realize that I had messed up the timeline. That one I'm being 100% on. Cruise around for a little while longer. And her texting her friend actually did happen, and she asked me to drop her off with somebody, but I don't know who it was. And he actually had met us on Boyd, and I didn't actually meet the guy or anything.
You can't even look the cop in the eye now.
Because he met us up here.
Okay.
I don't know where, somewhere over here is where Brittany and I actually had sex. I literally dropped her off with the guy literally in the middle of the road.
Literally, bro.
And drove off. And
it's okay. We'll get through this together. Okay? You and I will get through this together. Alright? So just take a second and then tell me the truth, okay?
Everything I've told, except mess ups on the timeline, is true. That was the exact same truck that I saw. I honestly couldn't tell you how the gun was that close to Brittany's body. I don't know how that happened, because Brittany was still alive by the time I had dropped her off on the road.
My dude's laughing about it. Jesus Christ.
Wasn't thinking at all.
What a sick fuck.
And I dropped her off, and I literally just drove off. I understand that. I know what you're gonna say.
No. And what am I gonna say?
That you have to know, which you do have to know. But I'm telling you that I literally had never met this guy.
Okay.
Which Brittany gets new friends every month, and I didn't really think much of it.
You've told us several different versions. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you really expect me to believe that you met a guy after you guys had sex, and you just dropped Brittany off with him, and you don't know who that was? You're a smart guy. I'm a smart guy. Okay.
I've met him, but I honestly don't know who he is.
So I need you I need you to be honest with me. When we started out today, I just wanted the truth from you, okay? And then the story changed. The story's changed again. The story's changed again. Okay? I need to get the whole truth. Because
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, son.
we can't go back. And I can't get that truth from you.
Didn't even know the kid was back in town. It was the Chaz Randall kid is the one who picked her up. Which I didn't even know he was back in town. So I swear it was Chaz Randall, because that kid's kind of distinguishable. But
you didn't say this to the beginning?
Randall met you on the road. I told you.
What?
And you've known that Chaz Randall killed Brittany all this time, and you're just waiting to say something? You let yourself be the last person to see her alive? You expect us to believe that I'm like, I was the last person to see her alive. I've put myself in that position, and I'm going to sit here for a week and a half letting everybody think I was the last one to see her alive when I know who the last person to see her alive is. You think we're going to believe that? You're smarter than that.
Listen, okay? This is, we can't keep coming up with different stories, okay? Because with what you just said, okay, as investigators, we're going to figure out about Chaz.
Yeah.
Okay? And if that's not accurate, where would we end up?
Back to me.
Back to you. You have told a whole bunch of cops a whole bunch of different stories.
I have not told a bunch of
asking
different
you
stories.
You need to trust me. I want you to trust me, okay?
Okay.
I need to hear the truth. The truth.
I know I'm kind of losing your guys' trust by the second here, and let's just be honest about that. Am I correct? I'm not meaning to stretch on. I'm just asking. But down there, I had sex with Brittany, and then got done having sex, and then it got really quiet in the truck. It was really awkward, and I think we were both kind of like regretting it in some sort. And
Homie, you weren't regretting nothing. You probably just had the time of your life.
Me to just drop her off, and I didn't know where to drop her off, and she wouldn't tell me anything. And then we got right to the top of the trailer section, right to the houses, and then right up there, and then I said something that pissed her off, and she literally just hopped out of the truck when I was at a stop sign. I was freaking out because I felt like I had ruined a complete friendship over one dumb oral interaction, and then
one dumb oral interaction.
Oh. And so we just sat there literally at a stop sign right where it turns back to pavement in the trailer section. Just sat there talking, and then I had told her that I would drop her off somewhere.
Oh, no way.
And I had gotten up there and tried to give her a hug, and she didn't want one, and I was fine with that. I understood. Then
GG.
we got back in the truck, but then I just kept it in park because I didn't know where the hell I was going, and sat there and both just had steam pouring out of our ears because we were both upset. She just asked me to drop her off at her friend's house in the trailer section. I went down the side of the trailer section around the corner. I pulled up and then asked her again if she just didn't want me to just take her back to Elko, and she said no, it was fine. And then she had told one of her friends about what happened. I just don't know who it was. I dropped her off in the trailer section, and then I drove off pissed off, went home, and then sat there, and then when I went back over to my mom's and I got text messages that she was missing and shit, and it freaked me the fuck out because last time I saw Brittany, I was flustered and angry.
I call bullshit.
What?
Listen, okay?
You guys are just looking for a confession.
Listen,
No,
okay?
I'm looking for the facts to match up.
What facts don't match up right now?
Okay, I think you know.
But I don't, I'm lost.
Do you think we've been doing nothing for the last week?
No, I think you guys have been working your asses off.
We've talked to a ton of people. Your name has come up a lot. And the conversations they've had with you, that your stories to us don't match.
And I don't know how that is, because literally everything I told you guys is what I've told everyone.
This is what we're going to do.
You're just making up stories and what?
We're going to step out of this room one last time. Okay? When I step back in here, I need you to tell me the truth. Okay?
So you're still expecting us to believe that you dropped her off and her body miraculously appeared where the condom and condom wrapper were by some strange frequencies.
I did not kill Brittany. But imagine being in my position trying to explain this.
Well,
of all things.
we're trying to figure out how she ended up dead. Realize she disappeared on the 8th. You've been sitting on this knowledge without saying anything to anybody?
Because I've had the entire town of Spring Creek asking me if I've killed Brittany.
And you might as well have if you didn't say anything.
So this is the story that you're going to stick with.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, stand up and face that way. Separate your feet and put your hands behind your back.
On March 19th, 2020, Bryce Dickey was arrested and charged with the murder of his friend, 16-year-old Brittany Alaki. Alicia and Jim were told an arrest was made, so they raced to the sheriff's office. When they arrived, Detective Stake came out, hugged Alicia, and said, "We got him." Alicia said that she couldn't believe it was Bryce. She said it didn't make sense and that it still doesn't make sense. James received a call from Alicia telling him that the police had arrested Bryce. He said that the news blew his mind. Brittany's friend Selena said that it hurt her heart. She had a more colorful message for Bryce, whose phone had been seized by that time. She wrote, "You are a serious piece of shit. We all were there for you, cried with you, and all you did was play us all like a fucking puppet master." In the weeks following Bryce's arrest, additional evidence was discovered as the search warrants for Brittany's and Bryce's Snapchat accounts returned. Snapchat memories from Brittany's account show her and Bryce together after he reportedly dropped her off. The photos were taken inside of Bryce's truck. GPS location data placed Brittany and Bryce within a few hundred feet of where her body was eventually discovered. Bryce's GPS data shows him traveling back to Spring Creek approximately 1 hour after Brittany's last photo was taken. 2 years after Brittany was killed, Bryce Dickey went on trial for her rape and murder. Jim attends trial every day to bear witness to his daughter's last moments and hopefully to see justice served. Jim said that he looked at every picture to the point where it almost killed him. Friends of Brittany testified that she had rejected Bryce after he admitted having feelings for her.
Yep,
Bryce's girlfriend of 18 months at the time of the murder testified that he choked her during sex on 4 occasions. After a 9-day trial, the jury returned with a verdict after less than 4 hours of deliberation. Bryce Dickey was found guilty of first-degree murder and sexual assault. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 46 years. Brittany's brother James said that if he could talk to his sister again, he would tell her that everything he's done since the day she passed has been for her. He said that the world lost an amazing soul. For more videos of cases never before seen on YouTube, click one of the videos on screen now.
That's a pretty wild case. See, that kid could have actually got away with that shit. That's the craziest part. If he actually came up with like a solid fucking story, he could have actually got away with that shit. That's the fucking scary part, man.
This is the time to be sure.
No, I
Do you understand what's
at stake here.
I
Do you understand?
I
There's
do.
someone's life that's probably been taken.
I do understand.
You understand that?
Our story begins in Santa Clara, Utah. On June 27, 2016, officers from the Santa Clara Ivins Police Department responded to a property theft call at a residence on Meadowview Circle. What appeared to be a routine call turned out to be anything but. The officers are met in the driveway by the owner of the residence, Kenneth Heisler.
Ooh,
and
almost
his
level
shirtless
82 range.
Oh, I came home from work. I left at 3:30 this morning to go to work. I come home about 2:30 today, and pulled into the garage, took a shower, went to the pool, came back into the house. So about an hour later, I noticed that my wife's stuff is missing. And the iPad's missing. And I checked the front door. The deadbolt still has a deadbolt on it, and no one has a key for that deadbolt. And there's blood on the ground on the floor, and this is fresh blood. And I tried to call my boy. He doesn't answer. The car's gone. It's going straight to voice. Like it's off. Like it's off. And his wallet's still in the cabinet. And the TV's on. And his slipper is here in the middle of the living room where it should be in his room. Well, this has got a bunch of shit here. And there's dry blood again in the kitchen. And then a couple other peculiar points are his room.
Look at this cop. This cop looks like he does not want to fucking be there.
Here, he left the TV's left with the video game on.
So what are we missing right now that you know of?
My wife's 30-year-old. My wife's jewelry box got all kinds of rings in there on here. It's probably about this big, but it's got a lot of sentimental value to my wife. Rings and stuff. She's on vacation.
Okay, so it couldn't have been her.
No.
So somebody had to know where the jewelry box was. And
Where'd you say your son is? We don't know. Well, I called his work, and he's not scheduled to work today. We called.
and he goes to voicemail, you said, when you called him?
Yeah, he was turned off. But his car's gone, but his wallet and his driver's license, and there's no money in the wallet. But he got paid yesterday. He got paid yesterday.
What's your son's name?
David.
David.
Yeah. I'm more concerned about that blood.
Does he have any friends that come over very often?
He's in a bitter divorce. Well, yeah, he does. Custody battle. He just won custody over his daughter, over the mom. Tuesday. And some of her characters, she hangs out with her pretty bad. In jail, drug use. Yeah. Her and the child went to New York. They'll be back Wednesday.
I'm going to get a statement from you of kind of what happened, the times you left. I'd like to talk to your son, too, if we can find him. But and what I can do, we can leave it with you. You can use the back if there's not enough room. But basically tell us kind of what happened, what time you left, when your son, you said your son was home. We don't know when he left. But any information you can give us.
Bro, that fucking little beep right there sounded like my fire alarm. I was like,
what? Of each item. Show me again. So they came through here.
Looks like they came through here.
Do we know what they cut
Yeah,
on?
that's what I'm trying to look at, what they would have cut themselves on, because the blood, I mean, there's blood there.
Another boost on
Other people came and took David in his car. His wallet's still there, but his car's gone. I called his work, and they said he's not scheduled to be there today, and he's not there, and he's not scheduled to be there. And then this, area, it's got, more stuff on the ground that shouldn't be here, from, the door and moving it. That looks like perhaps blood in those cracks. Yeah. And then they got a slipper right there, and the matching slippers in the bedroom. I can't imagine why he would leave to drive anywhere without taking his wallet. Here's his car information if you want to do a bolo or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of a blackish.
They're literally just walking through the crime scene and shit. Like, if there's blood and stuff like that, they should. That's.
He likes
that's
movies
crazy.
and video games. The TV's on with the video game still on. So I'm thinking maybe you heard something. It came out. And so this stuff's good. His phone should be over there, but his charger is. Here's where he puts his wallet, and it's still there.
Tell me what you think happened.
When I saw the stuff missing, I thought maybe the boy took it to the pawn shop.
Is that David might have?
Yeah. get some extra money. He can be deceitful.
Right.
Boys are. But then I saw the blood. His wallet's still there.
Card's gone. Phone's off.
Yeah. So now I have to think otherwise.
And how old is David?
He's 32.
32.
Well, I'm sorry.
Early 30s.
Maybe 31.
Okay. Show me where the iPad and the jewelry box was at.
Right here. It was plugged in.
Okay, the iPad was right there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My wife keeps all his stuff. Rings, necklaces.
It's all just right there on the corner.
Yeah. But the thing is, he asked me about the iPad. He said, you guys have another iPad, right? I said, yeah, we have 4 iPads.
He asked you about it? When did he ask you about it?
Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah.
Just yesterday.
Yeah. So that's why I thought maybe took him to the pawn shop. Because why would he be asking me about it? And the next day it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of what's sticking in my mind. I want to talk to David. That's the most likely right now. Yeah. I want to talk with him, and I'll see if I can check the pawn shop database. I don't know how quickly they upload stuff, but if he does pawn anything using his own name. He says ID's in here, though?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be able to pawn something without his ID. What kind of shoes does he wear?
Those white ones.
I'm curious what shoes he's got on.
I'm the private investigator on the case. He's a bad guy.
David? No,
the boyfriend
of the ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, the baby's mother.
Do you know what his name is?
I think I ran a report on him. He's got a rap sheet somehow. You know her name, right? Yeah.
What is it?
Kelly. Kelly Marie.
What's Kelly's last name? But not the old one. Now it's Perry because she married that guy.
E-R-Y.
Ooh.
I know who she is. I've been
My
involved with
first Wyvern's task.
Yeah, what's
Oh my goodness, let's go. I just got my first Wyvern's task. Oh, I gotta go to the washroom. Boo boos. Oh, boo boo. Oh, boo boo. Hey, boo boo. Hey.
Kelly's boyfriend's name. Frankie McCard. Frankie McCard? Yeah. Spell the last name. MCCARD. I don't see any blood in there.
Yeah, I don't see it anywhere else either. It's mainly just in the garage and possibly a couple spots in the grout here.
This is unusual.
It's kind of
It's got my
very
hair.
odd.
If I had hair on my head, it'd be sticking up because this is the thing we feared.
When were they in court? He got custody
Last Thursday.
So does he have the kid now, or where's the kid staying? Oh, she's with mom or your wife. Okay, we'll be in touch.
Okay, thank you.
2 hours later, the officers returned to collect the property theft form.
Time I left the house, time I came back to the house. Yeah, we put out an attempt to locate on his vehicle for a welfare check to make sure he's okay. We also tried pinging his phone, you know, see if we could locate him that way, and it hasn't been powered on.
At all today. At all. He hasn't had it on at all today. There's been no use out of it at all.
Well, then Kelly, the ex-girlfriend, she called me saying the cops called him. She said that he texted her last night. I would come over.
Alright, chat. I'm gonna end my stream there, boys. I'm ending the stream there. I hope y'all had a good one. I know I did. I appreciate y'all. God bless. And I'll probably see you tomorrow, honestly. Peace. Lol. Losers. Peace, brother.